They say betrayal doesn't come from strangers, it comes from the people closest to us, the ones we love, the ones we trust. And for Olivia, that betrayal came from her very own brother. She lost everything the day her parents died. But little did she know, the real loss was still to come. Because when Ryan, her younger brother, looked her in the eye and promised, "I'll take care of us," he wasn't protecting her. He was planning to destroy her. This is not just a story of betrayal. This is the story of a sister's revenge. Olivia grew up in a small American town. Her parents owned a little family business, a bakery everyone in the neighborhood loved. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. Olivia spent her childhood helping in the shop, kneading dough with her mother, learning customer service from her father. And Ryan? Ryan was the dreamer, the charming one. He was the boy with a smile that could get him out of trouble and into even more of it. But Olivia adored him. She was the older sister who would give him her last dollar, the one who defended him when he got into fights, the one who believed he would always have her back. When their parents suddenly passed away in a car accident, Olivia's world collapsed. The grief was unbearable. But even through the pain, she thought, "At least I have Ryan. We'll get through this together." At the reading of the will, everything changed. Their parents had left them the bakery, the family house, and a modest savings account. It wasn't a fortune, but it was everything they had worked for their entire lives. And that's when Ryan leaned in, his voice calm, reassuring. "Olivia, you don't need to stress about all this paperwork, all these business decisions. You've already been through enough. Let me handle it. I'll make sure we're both taken care of." She hesitated, but he was her brother, the boy she had protected all her life. And so she signed. She signed the documents he placed in front of her. She signed away her trust, and in that moment, Olivia unknowingly signed away everything else, too. For a while, everything seemed normal. Ryan managed the accounts, attended meetings with lawyers, and handled the bakery's finances. He assured Olivia it was all temporary, that once things settled down, they'd sit together and plan their future. And Olivia believed him. Because why wouldn't she? This was her little brother, the boy who used to sneak cookies from the bakery shelves. The boy who once cried when he broke her favorite toy. The boy who swore he'd never hurt her. But that boy was gone. Ryan began making changes. First, small ones, removing Olivia's name from business meetings, insisting she focus on healing. Then, bigger ones, opening new bank accounts she wasn't allowed to access, signing contracts she didn't recognize. Whenever Olivia asked questions, Ryan had the same answer. "Don't worry about it. I've got it under control." His voice was smooth, reassuring, but underneath, there was something else. A confidence, a coldness, a hint of arrogance that Olivia had never noticed before. One evening, Olivia found herself standing outside the bakery. It used to be filled with the warmth of her parents' laughter, the smell of fresh bread, the sound of neighbors stopping by. Now, it felt different, colder. Ryan had remodeled, turning their family bakery into something sleek and modern. It looked impressive, but it felt soulless. When she asked him why, Ryan snapped. "You don't get it, Olivia. This is business. Mom and Dad's way was old. If you don't trust me, then maybe you shouldn't be involved at all." His words cut deeper than any knife, because in that moment, Olivia realized she wasn't just losing her parents' legacy, she was losing her brother too. Weeks turned into months. Ryan grew wealthier, flashing expensive suits and a shiny new car. Meanwhile, Olivia struggled, barely making rent from her small job at a diner. Friends noticed. Neighbors whispered, "Isn't that her family's bakery? Why isn't she part of it anymore?" Olivia smiled through the questions, hiding her pain. But inside, she knew the truth. She had trusted Ryan, and he had shut her out. Still, a part of her clung to hope. She told herself, "He's just stressed. He's still my brother. He'll come around." But she was wrong, terribly wrong, because betrayal had only just begun. The cracks in Olivia's world widened, and soon they split wide open. It began with a letter from the bank, addressed not to her, but to Ryan. Curious, Olivia opened it, and what she read made her blood run cold. It was notice of a massive loan, taken out against the bakery, against their inheritance, and at the bottom of the page, her parents' signatures, or so it seemed. But Olivia knew her parents' handwriting, and this wasn't it. Ryan had forged their names. She confronted him that night. "Ryan, what is this? Why would you do this? Why would you risk everything?" Ryan didn't even flinch. He poured himself a drink, leaned back in his chair, and smiled. "Because, Olivia, you were never strong enough to handle this place. You would have ruined everything Mom and Dad built. I had to take control. I had to do it for them and for me." Her hands trembled. "You forged their names. You betrayed me. You betrayed them." Ryan's smile faded, and his next words shattered what little bond they had left. "Don't be naive. They're gone. The bakery is mine now. You are nothing." From that moment, Olivia was cast out. Ryan froze her out of every decision. He rewrote the contracts, transferred ownership, and manipulated the system until Olivia had no claim left. The bakery she grew up in, the bakery where her parents' dreams lived on, was now a fortress, guarded by her own brother. And Olivia was on the outside. Life unraveled quickly. With no income from the bakery, Olivia was forced into menial jobs. She cleaned offices at night, waited tables by day, barely scraping enough to survive. Meanwhile, Ryan thrived. He expanded the bakery, opened new branches, and flaunted his success all over town. Magazines called him the golden boy of business. Investors praised his brilliance. The same neighbors who once pitied him after their parents' death now admired him. And Olivia? She became invisible, a shadow of the woman she once was. But beneath the surface, anger brewed. Olivia replayed his words over and over. "You are nothing." Those words lit a fire inside her, a fire that grew with every passing day. Yes, Ryan had taken the bakery. Yes, he had left her broken and alone. But Olivia wasn't done. She couldn't be done, because she still had something Ryan never understood, something stronger than greed, something Ryan underestimated. She had resilience. She had her parents' spirit. And soon she would have her revenge. But revenge doesn't come overnight. It takes patience. It takes planning. It takes the ability to look your betrayer in the eye and smile while quietly sharpening the knife behind your back. And Olivia was ready to wait. Time passed. Weeks turned into months, and months into years. On the surface, Olivia's life looked ordinary. She worked 2 jobs, kept her head down, and lived in a small apartment. To Ryan, she was forgotten, a ghost. But behind the curtain, Olivia was building something. It began small. Late nights at the library, hours spent reading old journals, financial records, legal guides. She studied every detail of business law, every loophole Ryan thought she would never find. And then she found an ally. One evening, while delivering pastries at a cafe where she worked, Olivia overheard a man arguing on the phone. He was furious, demanding answers about how his investment had vanished. The man's name was David Reynolds, and as fate would have it, he was one of Ryan's burned investors. At first, Olivia hesitated. Why would this wealthy businessman listen to her? But something inside pushed her forward. "Excuse me, I couldn't help overhearing. Did you say you invested in Reynolds Bakery?" David turned, his expression sharp. "Yes. Worst mistake of my life. That man Ryan, he's a liar, a cheat. I should have seen it coming." Olivia's breath caught. "He's my brother," she whispered. "And I know exactly what he did to you. Because he did it to me too." That was the moment everything changed. David listened. He listened as Olivia told him about the forged documents, the stolen inheritance, the lies Ryan spread. And for the first time in years, someone believed her. Someone powerful. David leaned forward. "You want him exposed? You want him destroyed? I'll help you. But you have to be willing to fight." Olivia didn't hesitate. Her answer was simple. "I've been waiting to fight for years." Together, they began to gather evidence. David connected Olivia with lawyers, auditors, and investigators. She went through years of Ryan's paperwork, pulling every fraudulent deal, every hidden signature, every shady account. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together, and soon, Ryan's empire didn't look so untouchable anymore. But Olivia wasn't satisfied with just legal revenge. No, she wanted Ryan to feel it, to taste the bitterness he had fed her for years. So she crafted a plan. One that would tear down not only his business, but his pride, his reputation, his very identity. She would destroy him, the way he destroyed her, but she would do it in front of everyone. The perfect opportunity came in the form of Ryan's grand event, a gala to celebrate the bakery's 25th anniversary. The invitations were all over town. Politicians, investors, celebrities, everyone who mattered would be there. And so would Olivia. Not as a forgotten sister, but as the storm Ryan never saw coming. For years, she had been the outsider, the girl who was told she was nothing, the sister abandoned, the dream stolen. But now, she was stronger. She was prepared, and she was ready to show Ryan just how wrong he had been. The night of the gala arrived. Ryan's bakery glittered like a palace, chandeliers hanging high, tables draped in gold, laughter spilling into the air. The city's elite filled the room, glasses raised to toast Ryan, the self-made success. But behind the polished speeches and expensive suits, a storm was about to break. Olivia walked in quietly, not in rags, not in shame, but in an elegant black gown that shimmered under the lights. Heads turned as she entered. Though few recognized her, she had changed. She was no longer the forgotten sister. She looked powerful, untouchable. And Ryan, when his eyes met hers across the room, his smug smile faltered. For a moment, his mask cracked. "Olivia," he muttered under his breath, "what are you doing here?" The speeches began. Ryan took the stage, his voice full of charm, painting himself as a man of vision, a builder of dreams. The crowd applauded, they cheered, they believed every word, until Olivia's voice cut through the hall. "Funny," she said, loud enough for all to hear. "You forgot to mention the part where you built your empire on lies." Gasps rippled through the room. Ryan froze, eyes darting to the crowd. "Excuse me," he stammered, but Olivia didn't back down. She stepped forward, holding a folder thick with documents. "These," she declared, "are contracts, bank records, and forged signatures. Proof that every brick of your so-called success was stolen. From investors, from partners, and from your own family." The crowd murmured, shocked. Reporters scribbled notes, phones lifted, recording every second. Ryan's face turned pale. "That's not true. She's lying." But David Reynolds rose from the audience. "No, Ryan, she's telling the truth, and I'll make sure every word is heard in court." The room erupted. Questions flew. The investors who once worshipped Ryan turned on him, demanding answers. His name, his brand, collapsed in real time. And Olivia stood tall. She didn't shout, she didn't rage. She simply looked at him with calm, steady eyes. "I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." For the first time in years, she felt free. The lesson? Sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't rage. It's patience. It's strength. It's showing the world and your betrayers that you can rise without them. Olivia didn't just take back what was hers. She took back her dignity, her power, her life, and in the end, that was the greatest victory of all.